Hello and welcome to my somewhat poorly planned November YouTube video. I was meant to have 4 Miku designs for this, but I have been very busy with planning a holiday, so I've not actually had the chance to do 4. I've done 2.5. Uh, so we'll just be looking at my first 2 Project Voltage Miku fan designs, first of which is Mimikyu and Miku. I wanted to do this one as my ghost type one and have sort of a Halloween-y theme going with it, hence why they're sort of dressed up as each other. I thought that would be cute. But that idea did come from a person on Tumblr. Their username is 084392, and I came across a post one day where they had specifically said, oh, why didn't Pokemon Project Voltage use Mimikyu? It has the pun because the names are both similar, and also you can have them dress up as each other because of Mimikyu's whole disguise thing. And I was like, you're right, let me do that. And then I drew the thing and they were very happy to see it. So on and so forth. It was fun. And then I was like, but what if I do that for a YouTube thing and have a couple of different designs? So yeah, first one is Hatsune Miku and Mimikyu. The first screen we just finished was my planning sketch, and this one now is the final illustration. I didn't hate the pose, but the one on the planning sketch was considerably better. I don't like how the hair turned out at the end with this one, but it's fine. It sure does exist. But yeah, Hatsune Miku, the absolute queen. Very famous Vocaloid on the off chance that people don't know who she is. It would surprise me with how long she's been around, but also there might be some kids in the audience, I guess, who haven't run into her somehow. I probably listened to a bit too much Vocaloid in high school, but like, who doesn't when you're a weird art kid? It's fine. But yeah, Hatsune Miku, Mimikyu. I was also delighted to jump onto doing a design with Mimikyu because he's my favorite ghost-type Pokemon, or one of my favorites. Specifically because he absolutely carried in a particular, what's it called, Pokemon team I had when I was playing through Ultra Sun and Moon. In fact, it was actually pretty much the sole reason I beat Ultra Necrozma in one go, because of its ability Disguise. Again, for those of you who don't know, that basically means if Mimikyu gets hit by something, it doesn't actually do any damage for the first attack. Or Mimikyu isn't dealt damage for that first attack would be a clearer way of stating it. Which is kind of fun. They did nerf it in later things, so it takes half damage, because it was a bit too OP apparently. Kind of sad, but it's okay. Mimikyu's still doing its best, and it's still a funky Pokemon. But yeah, because it only took half damage, or no, because it took no damage, sorry, it was able to tank Ultra Necrozma's first move, and then poison it. And then I just had to wait it out until the poison killed it. Which is more strategic than I usually go when playing Pokemon, because I'm not a competitive player. I just play it for fun. I don't have video game skills. Yeah. But yeah, it was a useful Pokemon for me. I have fond memories of it. It was one of my favorite guys on my team. In fact, I named it QQ the Mimikyu. Bit of a silly name, but also it just sounded cute. And it's a cute looking Pokemon. What we can see of it anyways. And yeah, I tried to also make the background resemble the actual Project Voltage screen's not the right word, illustrations where they have the little background with, I assume it's Ghost written in Japanese. I just copied what I could see from the actual Ghost one. And now we're on to my second design. The second design I wanted to do was for Toxtricity. Now, you may be saying, hey, doesn't Toxtricity already have one? And you'd be correct. In fact, they also used amped up Toxtricity, which is my favorite form of the two, but they did that for the poison type Miku. I was like, I'm going to do an electric Miku who's more of a rock star sort of look. So I tried to make her very spiky, very punk. I kind of wanted elements of her outfit to resemble parts of Toxtricity's design, and I also decided to do the low-key form so I wouldn't be treading on the actual Project Voltage design's toes too much. Not that I could, though, because, like, it was one of the coolest looking designs, honestly. Like, they went nuts with it. This doesn't compare, but I still think she's fun. This also allowed me the opportunity to work with colour themes I'm a lot more familiar with. If you see a lot of my art, I do have a tendency to lean towards cooler colours, especially that sort of shade of blue. I use it a lot for my own Persona character Sparks, and it's sort of one of the... I use the colour scheme with blue, white, and black, and a touch of yellow quite a lot. There wasn't yellow in their actual illustration, but it is on the background card that comes in. Yeah. So when I went to actually do the illustration for this one, I really liked the little thumbnail I did, so I went in from that and did a slightly more complex sketch over the top in a different colour so I could fix up proportions and posing and shapes and all that sort of stuff and make it still work properly. Also just because my sketch was a bit messy. But I do quite like the energy of this, although I did kind of end up messing up the other side of the pigtail again. I just didn't really know what to do with it. One day I'll get better at this, but it's not today. I didn't have the time to care that much. And now we're on to the line art. I forgot to mention the other time, or with the other Miku I drew, but I'm using a different brush from what I usually would. Specifically, I'm using the Jasinki ink brush. Jasinki is apparently the closest you get to the actual Pokemon lining brush in Procreate, which is why I'm using it, because I've seen a different artist like recommend it as their brush they use for doing Pokemon lookalike stuff. Not that mine looks that close to Pokemon style, but it's fine. Yeah. But how it handles when I'm drawing with it is a bit different to the Studio Pen, which I usually use. You can also now see me doing up that Project Voltage background, then putting down a base layer. I don't know if people talk, or if I've talked about base layers much. I usually set it off with the character's skin color, because then I can lay a blush over the top, and then I can put the clothes over the top of that, and I feel like that just kind of makes my process flow a little bit smoother, personally. And then I'm color blocking, because that gets all your main colors in. I did very, very simple cell shading for this, just because I didn't have the time or energy to do anything more complex. But yeah, no, I did still really like the energy of this pose. I feel like it feels fun, like she is partway through a performance. Here comes the color, cell shading. Just used a purple. Apparently there's been a lot of things recently saying don't use purple for cell shading, but like, it's whatever. It looks fine. It's a bit more... I like it better than just using plain black, but that's also a personal preference. And I didn't have any specific lighting for it to be... lighting for it to be responding to where this wouldn't be appropriate, so it's fine. But yeah, this is my final drawing. I will be back with another 2 designs. I'm thinking of doing a... Actually, I'll let you guys guess. I'll see you next time, though. We'll have another 2. Bye!